Hello, everyone. Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central. I hope you're having an amazing week so far. I am here with another educational quotation, well, a quotation anyway, and I'm relating it to education in some way. This one's fairly easy to relate. It's Albert Einstein, famous physicist, and the quote or the quotation is, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." Okay, so I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth on this in a moment. Before we do, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is your chance to hit that button. Doesn't really hurt at all, and it helps the channel a lot. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and liked videos, commented, um, sent me emails, etc. It's very interesting and helpful to the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check in the description for links. And also, don't forget my Udemy online courses. Send me an email so I can send you a coupon. Don't pay that top price because I can send you a coupon for a much lower price. But the coupons only last for a few days, so I can't put them here. They won't work after a few days, after 5 days usually for the lowest price, then they don't work anymore. So that's why I need you to send me an email and I can send you that coupon. All right. Don't worry, you won't get flooded with emails. I do not have time to send out emails constantly, so that's not going to happen. So it's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. So many people, I hear from lots of students. I teach students of all ages, practically all ages. The youngest I've had is four. Oldest that I know of was 70 plus. So yeah, many ages, but many of them are younger students, and they often say or think that other students in their class are grasping the information so much easier than they are. They're just getting it. It's not a problem for them. It's so easy. And that can be frustrating. That can be really disheartening because if you're working, and you get a C or a D, and this person over here who looks like they're not working at all gets an A or an A plus or something like this, and it happens more than once, then you start to feel like, well, what's the point? What am I doing? That person just has it lucky. They just have it lucky. But trust me, that's generally not the case. I have worked with students who are struggling, of course. They come to tutoring, but sometimes students come to tutoring because they want to stay ahead of the game and they want to excel. And so I've had students that are straight A students, so to speak. On the report card, it all says A's, or in the 80s and 90s percentages. And yet they have weaknesses as well. The reason they're getting such strong marks is because they do a lot more work than people think. Also, the more you do, the more you can do. So sometimes it does become a little easier once you start to grasp it. But I think for the most part, what you're seeing are students who are giving the impression that they're not working very hard, but you don't see all the work they're doing behind the scenes and at home. And so many of these so-called genius students, um, and I use that word very lightly these days because it gets thrown around far too much. But some of them are very bright. But some of the students who are struggling and getting C's and D's are also very bright. They just haven't found their path yet, or they're not spending the amount of time that they need to. So even in my own learning, I've had people say to me, not just young students, adult people, just friends and other people say, "Oh, it must be so nice. You're so lucky. So learning comes so easy for you, or reading." Large textbooks come so easy for you. It doesn't come easy for me. I had to work very hard to get there. Um, I am lucky in some ways that I am able to read, and I didn't have an issue like dyslexia, but I really did have to work, and sometimes I still do. There are certain kinds of texts that I have a very difficult time, but the idea is that I keep at it, I keep working on it, and that's the idea of Einstein's quotation here. I stay with problems longer. I don't give up too easily. I'm stubborn. Sometimes I want to give up, and sometimes I say I'm going to give up, and I put the book or the whatever it is aside, but then I come back to it again because my brain keeps saying, "You got to do this. You can do this." So I'm stubborn. So take a moment to think about something that you really love doing. It could be a sport, could be a hobby, it could be a video game. Uh, and think about the countless hours you spent practicing and failing often, and then trying again. I've seen lots of students of almost all ages who get right into a certain sport like basketball, and they will drill practice hoops for hours upon hours. They miss most of them and they keep on going. They don't give up. They gave up on their algebra question after one try. So imagine if you spent the same amount of time on whatever course you're taking or whatever stream of study you're on as you would for your hobby or video game. You see people who will play 6 hours straight, even longer sometimes. That just amazes me on a video game. And they don't succeed, they don't succeed, they don't succeed. They're having a real hard time getting past this one hurdle, whatever it is. I don't play video games, but and they'll just keep at it and at it and at it. Imagine if you did that with your studies, you know, it would make a huge difference in how much you understood. And I think the games it's easier because there's lots of color and music and lights, and maybe you're playing with other people. So it's a little bit easier in that sense, but trust me, if you spent that amount of time and effort on learning your math or science or whatever it is, reading a novel, you would get so much more out of it. So remember the quotation, Einstein stayed with problems longer than others. He just kept working at it. Maybe he didn't see all of that effort as work either. And that's the other thing. Sometimes we have to sort of flip our thinking around and think more about what you're going to achieve, what it's going to give to you, what the positives are that you're going to receive, the goals that you want to reach. Think more positively about that beautiful path to knowledge and how much you're growing and gaining. And I think that makes a huge difference in the way that we approach things. So I'm not going to learn everything. I'm reading a text right now about genes, the things that are inside of our cells, inside of us, and not the kind that you're wearing maybe right now. But it's very, very interesting. I know I'm not going to remember all of it. I know I'm not going to understand all of it on a first read, and that can make you want to give up. It can make you frustrated and say, okay, why am I even bothering? I'm not going to remember this anyway. I'm not going to get it all. No, I'm not going to get it all, but I'm going to get some of it. And then I'll read something else, maybe a biology book, or it could even be a fictional story, but it says something about cell theory or genes or genetics or eugenics or all of these things. And I would say, oh, yeah, I remember this. And then you'll make more connections and then you'll read something else. And so it's worth it, even though, yes, you may not understand everything. Yes, you may forget a lot of it, but you will keep making those connections as you move forward. Even somebody in my old age can continue to learn and to do things. So I'm sure that you can too. So that's the idea. Stick with it longer. If you really want to learn something, if you really want to excel and do well, keep at it. Don't give up too easily and try to flip your mind around. Don't think, I have to do this for the teacher. I have to do this for my parents. I have to do this because I have to do this. And think of, I want to do this because it's going to give me so much. Even if I don't get a great grade this time around, I could try it again and maybe improve my grade, or at the very least, I'm going to get this much information that as I move forward will grow and network with more. And eventually, I am going to get a much better grip on this particular uh, course or topic, whatever it is that you're learning, because you could be learning for personal development as well. It's not necessarily for a school, although often it is. Speaking of that, if you want to find out more about my private tutoring services, you can shoot me an email. There'll be a link in the description as well as on the video that you can send me an email. You can check out the website as well. You can find my email there too. As I say, if you're going to try one of my online Udemy courses, send me an email anyway so you can get a coupon and get it much, much cheaper than the top price on Udemy. It's always listed at the top price. They often have sales, so sometimes it might come up as a sale automatically for you. You can check that out. But if not, definitely let me know so I can send you a coupon. I don't mind. I actually love sending coupons. I don't want you to pay that top price. I want you to get the coupon. It actually works better for me and for you if you do that. So don't worry. My private tutoring service is quite different. It's the Udemy courses are very, very reasonably priced, Private courses are a little more, of course, actually quite a bit more, but send me an email if you want to find out more about it. And I offer a free information meeting where we can just chat and see if there's anything I can do to help you out. And there's no obligation or anything there. All right. Have an amazing week. Keep learning, keep having fun. It is Ron from L.T.L Tutoring Central. Bye bye for now.